Coming up on this episode of The Pipeline.
This is the weirdest thing. When I was a kid, I was in church. I didn't have rhythm in church, right? So I couldn't clap and sing at the same time, or I couldn't like rock and clap at the same time. I had to choose one.
And later, we speak to Dr. Marquis Jordan, owner of Fearless Physical Therapy.
My family, when they walk in and I'm on the telehealth visit, it's always the funniest thing because I'm either on the table or the couch. They always run into me in a weird position because I'm trying to adjust the camera and show somebody how to do an exercise.
The Pipeline, Episode 3, Being Fearless.
Just one here is just in the way. Okay. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much for coming back and joining us here on the Pipeline Podcast, presented by Virginia Commonwealth University's Division for Health Sciences Diversity, which hosts the VCU Pipeline programs, which are free programs. And we talk about them all the time on the show because that is what we do. We want to promote these programs and we want you to know about them. They're available to anyone from middle school all the way to college graduates. So if you know a student who is interested in summer opportunities, visit our website today at dhsd.vcu.edu. All right, so we should have done this episode in October because it's all about fear. Are you ready, listeners? Are you scared? Well, don't be, because today we will be talking about being fearless. So Lorayah, welcome again. Thank you so much for joining me as my co-host. How are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Yes, thanks for having me. I love doing this show, and my Thanksgiving was very low key because of COVID, but the weather was beautiful. So we played outside a lot. We even had Thanksgiving outside on the deck. So it was really nice. I got to see my brother, who I haven't seen in a while, and that was nice. But again, I read a book. What book did I read? It's called The Poet X. My neighbor gave it to me, so I was able to actually read an entire book during the break. So that was really nice. How was your break?
I haven't read a full book in a long time. And one day I'll share my favorite book, but I need to get back into reading. I need to get back into just doing things that when I was a kid, I loved reading, but some that fell off, and I need to get back to that. I think it's going to be fun. Mine was very interesting. I decided that I was going to cook this year. Did you cook?
No, I catered.
Yay. So I decided I was going to cook a Caribbean turkey. So I have this recipe on my stories and everything where I did all of these spices from different countries in the Caribbean, including Latinx countries, as well as jerk seasoning from Jamaica. So it was very spicy, and I injected butter into the turkey. So it was really, really good. It's December now. Happy December. It's my birthday month, so I love this month. I'm wearing my Christmas sweater because I love Christmas. Are you one of those people who put up their tree way before Thanksgiving, or are you a person who waits?
We had our tree up the weekend of Halloween. I was ready. But right before we got on, I was on Amazon scrolling, looking for outdoor lights. Because this is our first house, so I never decorated outside before. And all my neighbors have all their stuff up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we're the dark house. So I'm trying to find like lights and different things to put up outside. But yes, our Christmas tree was up.
I love Christmas. I haven't put my tree up yet, but I'm going to probably today. I'm a person who I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving because I'm not from America and it's more of an American tradition. But I do think it's a good timeline. Like, okay, Thanksgiving's over. Now I'm ready for Christmas and I can put my tree up because no one will judge me. But I'm one of those persons who won't take the tree down probably till February if I'm feeling up to it. Some may say until March. I may say until March. But I will keep that up as long as possible because it's such a hard task to take everything down. And then the shedding from the leaves and stuff. I use a fake tree, so the shedding from the leaves and stuff. I have a cat, so it's a lot of work, and I'd rather just look at it and just ignore it.
That is hilarious. That's my mom. She will keep her tree up like until July, quite honestly. But it's funny you mentioned about your cat. I just saw somebody on Facebook and they put like one of those little air freshener things that like automatically goes
Oh,
in the tree to try and keep their cat away. So I don't know if that will work, but
I really I look a lot of TikTok videos because I wanted to decorate outside. I've never done it, but they have this neat trick where you can use PVC pipe and then use PVC clamp, and then you run the lights on the PVC pipe, and then you snap them onto your house each year, and then you just take the pipes off each year. So it's really easy, it's really simple, and you're ready to go in like seconds. So I thought that was like a really, really unique tip that we could potentially use in the future for decorating my house. So what are some decorating tips that you have?
I don't. I'm learning. So I'm actually going to look up that PVC tip because that's awesome. I'm looking up solar powered lights because my whole thing with the outdoors is I don't want to run up my electric bill. So I've been looking up like battery powered and solar powered lights. It's a lot of pressure, quite honestly, because this house was on the tacky Christmas light tour for like years because the owner before us loved Christmas.
Your
And
house?
yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
he the neighbor said like don't be surprised if like a bus of people like shows up because they're expecting to see lights. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna disappoint. Like
You should do something completely like not Christmassy, like decorate in lights, but just like celebrate a different holiday. Like, um,
yeah.
it'll be so funny. But talking about just doing things that are outside the box this year, today's episode is all about being fearless. Has there been a time, or do you have an example of a time you were fearless or took a leap of faith that paid off? And you can wait and share it with our students whenever they come. Do you think that's better?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome to share with them.
All right, so let's get our students in here and we will speak to them. 1 second. So first, let me introduce you all. So today, we will be speaking to our students who have participated in our pipeline programs in the past. We want to see what they're up to and what leaps of faith they've taken in the past, especially doing a pipeline program because this year was virtual, so you guys had a completely different perspective than other students each year.
First, we have a senior health science major with a concentration in physical sciences from St. Louis, Missouri. He currently attends Tennessee State University, where he is a member of Student Government Association and serves as Mr. Tennessee State University. In addition, he was a participant of the 2020 cohort of SAEP, and he is expected to graduate in May 2021, and he plans to attend physical therapy school and pursue a career in physical therapy. Please welcome Natan Smith
Also, we have a graduating senior at Hampton University obtaining a degree in kinesiology on the path to becoming a physical therapist. She was born in New Jersey, raised in North Carolina. She is right now focusing on completing her prerequisites to get into a physical therapy program. And this past summer, she participated in the Allied Health Career Exploration Program. So please welcome Ms. Kai Scarborough. Hi, everybody.
Thinking about the pipeline program that you participated in, what do you think was the most beneficial part of participating in your specific program? Natan, you can start us off.
First, thank you guys for having me. That was a great question, by the way. The most, I guess, impactful thing for me would have to be the networking and the relationships that I was able to form during the program. Like I still continue to communicate with my PT cohort to this day. Like we were just texting today. So we still like keep in communication, not to mention with people in PT admissions, Lorayah, I still talk to you guys as well. So it's just great to be able to form those connections and those relationships. And I'm grateful to have that opportunity. So thank you guys again.
Awesome. And Kai.
Yeah, so for me, like the one thing I took from it was being able to be introduced to different types of career paths. I know that I wanted to go into medicine. I had a thought about physical therapy, but I wasn't sure. So when we got introduced to different like OTs, PTs, and specialties, like it really opened my eyes, and I really appreciated it because it really helped me narrow down what I want to do. So that was something I really appreciated from the program.
Lorayah, how about you start? When was there a time that you were fearless?
Yeah. Well, most recently, I would say the move here to Richmond. We've been living in Harrisonburg. I was working at my alma mater for a long time, and we just decided we wanted to leave. And so that was scary, not knowing what to expect, a whole new community. But I mean, it's just been awesome on top of awesome. And I'm so glad to be able to be here working with you, Ray, and just being connected to the VCU community. It's just totally different from anything that I've experienced before. And yeah, it was super scary. And I thought I had made the wrong decision, that the transition period of moving and trying to figure out everything and not knowing, your doctor, like all those little things that you take for granted when you've been in a place for a long time. But now that we've been here, almost 2 years now, and it was definitely the best decision for us.
I do remember, so at VCU, they try to include a lot of the employees in interview process with hiring new persons and stuff. And I remember I missed your interview. I never got to interview you. And then you emailed the nicest email afterwards. And you were just like, hey, I know you missed the interview. Is it possible that I can speak with you? And then I was like, oh no, we can't, because it's like a whole HR process where like you had to be there for the interview. And I wasn't, but I'm glad that they picked you. It's been great working with you. So my leap of faith was in 2015. I was at this point of my career. So I was a respiratory therapist. I still am, I'm licensed. And I was in this position where I had to decide if I would take a job in Asia. And I have never traveled outside of the Western hemisphere. And I just had to, so I knew I was going to do it. I somehow knew I was going to do it. And I hid it from my parents for a good month. And I went home about like November-ish. And I was like, this is 2014, November-ish. I knew I got the job. I knew it was a good paying job and I wanted to take it. And I didn't know how they would feel about it. So I was like, I just like nonchalant brought it up. I said, hey, so I have this job offer in Singapore and I really think it would be good. What do you guys think? And they were so supportive. They said, you're very young, you're single, sadly still single. But back then it was okay. Now it's getting a little weird. But they said, you're single, you can do this. This is probably the only time in your life where you'll be able to travel so easily and move and pick your things up and leave. And I did it. And I lived there for 3 years. And it was just one of the most incredible experiences. It afforded me opportunities to travel all over Asia and Africa and Europe because it was such a travel hub. And I loved it. So in the end, it all worked out. How about let's go with Kai. Kai, what is a time that you were completely fearless?
For me, I like to go through life thinking that I'm pretty fearless all the time. But for me, I know for a fact when I applied to Hampton, I knew that I wanted to go to a school out of state, even though it's like 3 hours from where I am. But my mom was kind of like iffy about it, and I never really been away from home that long. So for me, that was like I knew that if I went, I wouldn't regret it. I would regret it more if I stayed home. And I honestly going to Hampton has been like the best experience for me. Like I've grown so much as a person, I feel like as a young adult, and I just had to like take the leap of faith. So that's really, really like something I know that I've done, and it really has paid off. Personally.
Yeah, and we love Hampton University. We love when we get students from there. Nate,
Yes.
what about you? What is one time that you were completely fearless or you were even a little scared to do something, but you did it anyway. And what was the results?
Okay, I'm glad you put the tidbit about being a little scared, because I was definitely a little bit fearful. But I have two, but they're gonna be quick, I promise. So the first one would have to be me, kind of similar to Kai, going away for school, going out of state. So I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I attend school in Nashville, Tennessee. So just going to a different region, a different city, a different place by myself, that was very fearful. Well, I was scared, honestly, but I'm glad I did it, and I made the most of it. But to my most recent, I guess, fearful or fearless act, applying for SAEP. I knew it was crazy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the story, but I was in school. I was a junior taking classes. Applied for SAEP. Like at the very last minute, didn't know if I have a chance, but I still applied. Took that leap of faith. I got denied, and then I wrote an email saying like, if it's possible, I would love to participate in the program. I think I can be a valuable asset. I think I could gain from it. I think I can also contribute to the program and things of that nature. Ended up getting into the program. On top of it being during a pandemic, obviously the pandemic that we're still currently in. On top of also taking classes. So I was still taking classes too. So I was fearful that I wasn't gonna be able to perform to the best of my abilities. But at the end of the day, I just had to live with the result and just try to make the most of the opportunity. And I did that. So yeah, I guess it worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, I remember your story. I remember getting the email, and it was just very well written, and we had someone drop out last minute, and I just sent it to Dr. Ford Smith, and I said, "Hey, this is pretty much the only person who reached out with that was very respectful, formal, and their applications completed. Do you want to consider them for filling that last spot?" And she said yes. So I'm glad that you got something out of the program and that you took that leap of faith, because it's about keep pushing for what you want. If you didn't reach out with that email, you wouldn't have been in the program. And there's just so many things, little things that cause us to have such amazing results that we have to keep doing. And you never know what you're doing, but you have to just keep pushing and keep pushing towards those dreams.
Can I say one more quick thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so just about that, just on that story one more time. I actually was like really like defeated, because it was like my first time ever trying to participate in anything like this. And I told one of my friends about it, and I was like, yeah, like I didn't get in, man. Like I'm sad, I'm kind of down. And he was like, bro, like just send him an email. Like you never know what could happen. I was like, bro, it's not gonna work, but I mean, I guess. And then I got the "I told you so" after you guys responded. So I just want to throw that out there.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Your network has to be strong.
For sure. The support was definitely real. I mean, it was crazy.
So today we wanted to have you on because you're both aspiring physical therapy students, and we have Dr. Marquis Jordan, and he's a physical therapy who owns his own mobile physical therapy business, and he's a VCU alum. So we'll bring him in and we'll reintroduce him to you all. Okay. All right, everyone. So today our guest is from Norfolk, Virginia, but raised in Hampton. He attended VCU, earning a degree in psychology, working 2 jobs the entire time. He then started the physical therapy program here at MCV in 2003, earning his doctorate in physical therapy in 2006. After graduating, he worked in the hospital system, where he gained experience in multiple fields of physical therapy. Currently, Dr. Jordan is the owner of Fearless Physical Therapy, which is a mobile outpatient PT clinic in the Hampton Roads area. He's also the father of 3 and has been married for the last 14 years. Please welcome Dr. Marquis Jordan.
Hi, Dr. Jordan.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How about y'all?
We're doing great. I noticed you're in your car. This is just amazing how we can do different things virtually from so many different places. We took inspiration from your company's name, which is Fearless Physical Therapy. And today we were talking about being fearless, taking leaps of faith, and just things that we have done in the past that have paid off, even though we did not know what the results were going to be. Today we have Natan Smith Jr. and Kai Scarborough. They are both aspiring PT students. One is from Hampton University and one goes to school in Tennessee. And we have the assistant director from the DHSD division, Miss Lorayah Lenore. So today we'll just go around the room and pick your brain and see what information you can give us so we can be as successful as you.
Okay.
All right, so Miss Lorayah, what questions do you have for Dr. Jordan?
Yeah, so Dr. Jordan, my first question is, being an entrepreneur, that is definitely something that you have to take that leap of faith. And so, what was it like starting your business? And, if you could give advice to anyone who is considering becoming an entrepreneur, what do you think you would say to them?
Um, it was scary. It wasn't something I was really trained for, prepared for. They don't train you how to operate a business when you're in PT school. Nobody in my family had started their own business before, and so I had a lot of naysayers. Well, you have a good job. Why do you want to do this? Just go ahead, work a 9 to 5. Don't worry about it. You're going to leave your benefits, and so there there's a lot of naysayers. And so I guess the thing I would say to anybody is make sure it's something you really want to do, and just and if it's something you really want to do and you're willing to put in the hard work, just keep pushing forward. You're going to have some hard days. You're going to have some days where you're crying. But if it's something you really want to do and that's what you've been called to do, you keep pushing forward, because you are going to have those good days and those days that let you know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Awesome. Thank you.
Natan, what about you? What questions did you have for Dr. Jordan?
Hey, Dr. Jordan, I'm Natan Smith Jr. Thank
Hey,
you
Nate.
for having us. My question was, when did you come to the realization that PT was what you wanted to do with your life?
Okay. This came about because my grandmother, when I was in middle school, fell down 2 flights of steps at work and she became paralyzed.
Hmm.
And so just hearing her talk about all her doctor's appointments and whatnot, it seemed like PT was something I would be interested in, because I always kind of knew it was either going to be a doctor or an engineer. But just hearing her talk about her appointments and how they went, physical therapy seemed like it was more up my alley. And then I hurt myself my junior year of wrestling, and so we didn't have the money for really me to do therapy or really go to the doctor too often. So a lot of it I had to do myself, and so that let me know further. Okay, this is something I could do.
Hi, what about you?
Hi, I'm Kai Scarborough and I attend Hampton. So one of the questions that I had, okay, if there is something you could tell yourself 7 years ago or just before you started the process of owning your own practice, what would it be?
Um, it would be just put yourself out there. Be willing to meet new people, introduce yourself, because that's the one thing I really struggle with. Starting off is going up to people, introducing myself, selling myself, and so that would be the thing I would do. Is I would prepare. I would start saying, okay, you need to start mentally preparing yourself for this right now. Because I mean, I'm great one to one, but it's you always been the person was referred to me from their doctor. So this has been new, actually having to go out and find people.
So we know that COVID-19 has affected a lot of businesses, and a lot of businesses are actually doing what you're doing. So they're becoming mobile units. This whole avenue of being virtual and being mobile is something that they're trying to adapt to this new economic framework that we're in right now. Did COVID affect your business?
Initially, it didn't really help because people didn't want you coming into the house, and so I had to learn how to do telehealth visits pretty quick. And I mean, and that was actually a blessing, because now okay, I have this other skill, I have this other facet I have added in. So, but initially, yeah, COVID hit me pretty hard because I just started to gain traction. I was doing injury clinics. I had all these visits set up and scheduled with different gyms and whatnot, and then everything shuts down. Like the majority of my population were grapplers or people that worked out in the gym all the time, and it just kind of went away for a little while. but then it forced me to redirect my efforts.
Okay. Lorayah?
Yeah, so I'm on your website and, but I also see that you do telehealth. So what does that look like for a physical therapist?
It's funny because it basically looks like it starts off like this: a Zoom meeting where it's me and my client. We're talking. They're explaining to me what's going on, and then from there I jump up off my table because that's usually where I have it set up. And it's like, okay, grab your water bottles or grab your bands, and these are the exercises you're going to do. And so my family, when they walk in and I'm on the telehealth visit, it's always the funniest thing because I'm either on the table or the couch. Um, they always run into me in a weird position because I'm trying to adjust the camera and show somebody how to do an exercise, or okay, you don't have this piece of equipment at home, so we can do it like this. Um, it's been interesting. Initially, it was draining because I had to rely a lot on nonverbal cues to see what's going on. But once I got used to it, it's been kind of fun. And so yeah, it starts off like a regular Zoom meeting, and then it becomes okay. Um, let's start working out and let's start doing some interactive things. I taught people how to do their own manipulations and things. So
Yeah, you're empowering people now to use the strategies that you usually teach them, to do it on their own, to be more independent. So that is great. Before SAEP, before Allied Health Career Exploration, we had the HCOP program here at VCU, which was a grant funded program. After that grant funding ended, VCU decided to change the program and adopt it as their own and turned it into SAEP. So Dr. Jordan was a part of that HCOP program way back when. So tell us a little about that program and how it impacted your career, your decisions.
oh, HCOP was a blessing because I was one of those people in college and high school, all throughout life where if I stayed in the class, if I stayed awake in the class, I was getting a B. I mean, I didn't have to do homework or anything, but if as long as I stayed awake and paid a little bit of attention, I was getting a B. PT school was not like that. So HCOP really was those first few tests and just learning how to read K-type questions, learning how to actually study the right way. That was a big blessing for me because it prepared me. And then um, when I first started my year PT school, I still had to work, and so that was a problem. But I talked to the HCOP professor that I had that summer, and he set me up with a tutor so that can help me be a little bit more effective with the student studying. So HCOP, yeah, was definitely a big help. It really prepared me for PT school, and when I was in PT school, they kind of were a bridge to help me understand what was going on and how to prepare myself, how to study the right way.
Okay, and HCOP stood for Health Careers Opportunities Program. Natan, could you relate to anything since you've been in SAEP and it's a very similar structure that Dr. Jordan? And you can also ask your next question.
Absolutely. I definitely can relate because that was actually my biggest takeaway from SAAP, just those relationships that I was able to build and network during SAAP. Even though it was on Zoom, we still had a lot of face-to-face time. So I was able to meet a lot of different people, professors, administration, in Lorayah. So. But yeah, my next question is actually post-PT school. So what did the first 6 months to 1 year look like for you after completing PT school?
Okay, I don't recommend this. The month after PT school, I got married.
Okay.
Um, then my grandmother went to the hospital, and I moved all in the same month. So it was a lot of different things going on that first month. But yeah, after that, I moved from living in because I grew up in Hampton and I went to school in Richmond. So I grew up in that type of atmosphere. Moving to a small town in North Carolina where Walmart closed at 10.
Oh my God.
So that that was it's really a culture shock for me those that first 6 months. And then it was the fact that okay, I ended up being the only black PT in the facility. I was a hospital facility. There was one black OT and then one tech that was black. Everybody else were Caucasian, and just learning how to make sure I interact with them the right way. That I don't have to have my guard up all the time with these people, and I don't necessarily have to code switch all the time. Was a big learning experience because you know how it is. You think, okay, I have to talk a certain way. I have to be Dr. Jordan and things like that. But you learn that there are certain people that are just good people, and you can be yourself around those people. And then you get the patience, especially where I was, where you do run into a little bit of racism, and you have to learn how to deal with that the right way. Um, you can't yell and scream at everybody. You have to kind of learn to how to redirect things. And when I need to nip this in the bud, or if maybe this person just needs some education, and you can explain to them, okay, this is not how you say things. This is how you're going to treat me. I am a professional. So I run into different things like that.
Okay. And earlier, we just wanted to clarify something in case your wife is listening. You said that you don't recommend getting married 1 month after, but I'm sure you're very happy, and I'm sure that you didn't mean to get married. You just mean that quickly, right?
Yeah. If I had to do it over again, I probably would have went ahead and got married before I graduated, so that I would have had that time to study for the boards. But I was trying to study for the boards and plan a wedding because my wife wanted me to be a part of the process. I thought I could just show up that day, and it was no need to be a part of the process. So that's what I meant, basically.
Okay,
Just
we
the
got
whole.
it cleared up, Mrs. Jordan.
Oh yeah, I love my wife. She's definitely what calms me down.
She's on here just like she's canceling our videos. Like, Kai, did you have a final question for Dr. Jordan?
Yes. So, Dr. Jordan, would you say that being able to help people over the phone or through Zoom has made you a better physical therapist?
I would say it has, because over the phone, I mean, I can't touch you. So I can't just, you're doing this wrong. Let me go ahead and put my hands on you and correct you. And I can't just, just pop you say you're hurting. I can't just pop a joint or distract the joint and make it feel better. It forced me to be a better educator, definitely. I also say it forced me to put a little bit more trust in my patients, that they're going to do the right thing and to work harder.
All right. Well, we have gotten a lot of interesting information from you. We appreciate you coming today. Does anyone have anything else to say to Dr. Jordan before we let him go?
I have one more quick question.
Sure.
Just one more. Not to get too personal. You can answer this or not. I understand if you don't want to. But how did you pay for school? Because I would be considered out of state if I attend VCU, if I have the opportunity. So it's a little pricey. So I was just I was asking, just curious.
Um. Well, wow, yeah, PT school. I took out loans, a lot of loans, and then like I said, I worked, and that's how I paid for school, and that's how a lot of my classmates pay for school. Now I believe there are more scholarships, so that's an avenue you should definitely check out, minority scholarships. And I knew people that volunteered. I mean, or found an underprivileged area and said, okay, if I come work here, will you take care of some of my student my the cost of my tuition? So that's another thing. Like if one girl, she was from a really small town, maybe population like 10,000 or something, and that's what she did. Excuse me. So she told them, it's like, okay, I'll come back and work for this hospital, and I'll stay here for a certain amount of time if you cover a certain amount of my tuition.
And I have one question, just to follow up, because you said you worked while completing your degree, and you said one of your HCOP professors connected you to a tutor, which helped. What are some other tips for those who will have to work as they are pursuing their degree, so they can reach their goal?
You need to find a very good study group, one that's effective for you. And that was something I really didn't want to do at first because um, PT school for me with that first year was okay. It's me, a kid that grew up with a single mom, um, had to work and I would come in pretty poor. And then most of my other classmates were the kids of doctors, lawyers, had a politician's kid in there. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to, I don't want to fill out a place. And once I finally just decided, okay, I need extra help. I found the group that I gel with and a study group really helped. And it was like, okay, so what day do you have to work, Keys? All right, so we'll do our study group this day, and we'll do our study group that day. And I mean, you're gonna find some people that you're not gonna like in PT school, but you will find that group that you do, and that will work along with your schedule to help out. Because if you're like me, I do better learning in a group setting, so where we're bouncing ideas off each other and different things like that.
Dr. Jordan, where can we find out about your business and where can we find you?
My website is www.fearlessphysicaltherapist.com.
All right, and with that, we just want to have you give one last inspirational note that you can leave our aspiring PT students or just underrepresented populations that are having so many disparities against them. What can you tell those students to encourage them to keep going?
Just make sure that you know that with the work you lay down is going to help somebody else. And then once you get to that point, make sure you go back into to your neighborhood and bring somebody else up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jordan. And we just want to for giving us this opportunity to talk to you today. We appreciate you stopping by, and we will visit your website to find out more information about you and how to contact you. And so we just want to thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. You all have a blessed day.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too.
Thank you, you too.
And now things are going to get really interesting in our all new segment called What the Heck?
So we have this new thing called pod decks, and it's some cards that just like have interesting conversation pieces, and we wanted to try it out on camera. And so I was gonna open it before, and they have this little sign here that says maybe you should wait and do an unboxing video. Which, if you're a social media influencer out there, this is what you got to do. So this is it, and on the back it has questions. Miss Lorayah, when you were a kid, did you have any posters on your wall? If so, what?
Yes, I had my whole room covered with posters, and I had them hanging down. And I had B2K, Lil Bow Wow, Lil Wayne, Lil Zane, Aaliyah, Destiny's Child, everyone.
All the
Honestly,
Yes.
I wanted to be that like American kid with posters on the wall, but my family would smack me if I put anything on the wall. There was nothing on the wall. There was like a crucifix or something, but that was it. Couldn't do anything else. All right, Natan, what is your favorite microwavable food? And you guys can think of a random question to ask me if you want to. Obviously, I have the upper hand, but Natan, what is your favorite microwavable food?
My favorite microwavable food would have to be pizza rolls, probably. I feel like it's just you can't go wrong with a good pizza roll. I don't know. I don't put a lot of stuff in the microwave either. It's more I like the oven. So, but yeah, microwave it'll probably be pizza rolls, honestly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And especially as college students, hey, you gotta eat what you gotta get.
For sure.
What? Okay, now let's see. Okay, did Nathan just leave?
Oh no, I think he
You
turned
know
his
what?
face.
I'm gonna get me some pizza rolls. Kai, do you have a favorite number and any particular reason why you like that number?
Yeah, so my favorite number is 7. I just think it's a great number. Usually good luck with that number. That's why. And also my birthday's in July. My birthday's also on the 14th, which is 7 twice. So I'm just like, 7's a great number. I think it's a great number.
It is a great number. When I was 8 years old, I determined that 7 was going to be my favorite number. And so my birthday's the 27th, so I guess.
So I have a good affinity to the number 7 as well. So I wanted to be like a celebrity. I practiced my autograph for a long time, and I would type my name RAY, and then the F was like a cursive F, and it looked like a 7. So eventually it was like RAY and 7. And then, so I just decided, so my production company is going to be called 7th Power.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. I like that.
I love it.
I'm so excited though, but it's so weird to like come full circle with Kai saying that. I like it. All right.
Make sure you sign me though if you need like an actor or something, you know. I need
Yeah.
to practice on my skills, but you know, I'll be interested just in case you're wondering.
Okay, cool. It's definitely leading in that way. Have you ever had a weird Uber experience, Natan?
Yeah, probably when I traveled, I probably had a weird experience. Maybe it was, well, I remember one time, okay, I don't know, it's just funny. So we had got like this older white gentleman. He's our driver, and he was just playing like a bunch of rap music, like cursing and stuff. When we got in the car, so it was like, oh, who you been talking to? Like, you know? But I mean, other than that, that's kind of been like, that's pretty much it. And Kai, I just want to say, my birthday is July 18th. So
Really?
Chance to do it better, you know.
Yes.
All right, who are we on to? Lorayah, we'll do one more round and then we'll call it a day. Lorayah, do you have a favorite t-shirt? If so, what's on it or what does it say? And you know I'll be making t-shirts, so.
I don't know if I have a favorite t-shirt. I love graphic tees, so I have a lot of graphic tees I love. Okay, the one I'm thinking of is Chip Loves Joe, because I love Chip and Joanna, and so it's blue and it says Chip Loves Joe.
Do you have any questions for me?
I was trying to pull up some questions. You really do have the upper hand with the whole bag.
Hey,
those are really good, like, conversation starters.
I love them. Kai, let's ask you this. What Guinness World Book record do you think you could break in the future?
Maybe a jump roping one. I like to jump rope. So I feel like that's like the closest thing I could do. Maybe one of those.
I can't even jump rope anymore. I don't even know. I don't think I have the skill, the stamina.
Yeah, I just started. So like again, so it's like, dang, I was like, dang, I'm getting old. I remember when I was like 5 or 6 when we had those like jump roping classes in gym. It was so easy.
It's sad.
For you, right? So if you could play any musical instrument, what would you play? Or if you do play a musical instrument, what is it?
So I would play the piano. And so when I was a kid, this is the weirdest thing. When I was a kid, I was in church. I didn't have rhythm in church, right? So I couldn't clap and sing at the same time, or I couldn't like rock and clap at the same time. I had to choose one. So I had to I'd been still as possible doing my little clap, or I'll get it off beat. And then I couldn't I had to choose. It's sad. But this guy who was playing the keyboard in the band, in the church band, he said that he saw in me that I wanted to play the piano. And he got me, he went away to Florida. I lived in the Bahamas. He went away to Florida and he got me a keyboard, and he got me teach yourself DVDs, videos, books, and he gave them to me. And the first song in the book was called Frere Jacques, and it was like Frere Jacques, what? And I tried learning it and I gave up.
Oh my gosh, you had
I never did anything with it. I feel so bad, but I never learned anything. But that is why I would like to play an instrument in the future. Lorayah, so this question is probably going to lose us viewers. It's going to lose us listeners if you answer it wrong. So, okay. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
We still have them. We still have our viewers, so it's fine.
I had to think about it. Like, what do I? The kids will put it under, but I like over.
I like to just put it on top of the little thing and not put it on at all.
Oh my god.
Smart. That's what I
My
do.
mom gets mad when I do that.
Very controversial.
So that was Pod Decks, and that was What the Heck. I love it. We're going to continue using it in these podcasts. Today, I want to thank Natan Smith, Kai Scarborough, and Dr. Marquis Jordan from Fearless Physical Therapy, and my co-host, Ms. Lorayah Lenore. Thank you so much for joining us here. If you want to know more about our pipeline programs, you can visit our website, dhsd.vcu.edu, or follow us on all social media platforms at VCU Pipeline. If you would like to listen to this podcast, it's on all streaming platforms as well as on our website, dhsd.vcu.edu/podcast. Thank you again, and see you next time right here in the pipeline.